Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl T from Adventures of Spirits, and welcome to Spirit Scrutiny. Today, we are looking at Black-owned whiskeys. And how can we talk about whiskeys if we can't talk about the ultimate Uncle Nearest? Okay, Nearest Green Distillery CEO, Fawn Weaver. How can you not talk about Black-owned whiskeys without bringing their name up? So today we will be tasting and reviewing. Actually, I just cracked open these bottles, to be honest with you, even though I did taste them at the distillery. But I just cracked open these bottles. I got them about a year ago at the Nearest Distillery. And these are, two of these are items that you can only get from the distillery. And one you can actually get at your local liquor store. My best friend actually has the rye from the distillery. I didn't get that. She did because I figured I could just drink hers. And I already had a rye that I hadn't opened yet. But we will be tasting the Master Blend Edition, the regular straight rye whiskey, as well as the single barrel premium blend. So premium edition. So just so you understand, two of these you have to go to the distillery to get because they do not sell them within the liquor stores because they're over a certain proof. But the straight rye you can with the actual beige label with the blue writing. But there is a rye that you can only get from the distillery with a blue label and I think it's a blue label and a beige font that's on there. That one you cannot get at the liquor store. But let's get into this Black-owned whiskey here. So let's talk about Uncle Nearest for a minute. So Uncle Nearest, for those of you who don't know, and it is Black history, Uncle Nearest was the master distiller for Jack Daniel's dad before Jack Daniel's became Jack Daniel's. And he actually taught Jack Daniel's how to make whiskey and actually provide a certain process that they now call the Lincoln process within Tennessee. Over in they're in Lynchburg. Jack Daniel's is in Lynchburg, and the nearest distillery, the Nearest Green Distillery, is actually in Shelbyville, which is actually on the opposite ends of the little area of Tennessee, about maybe 25 minutes from each other. So just so you know, just a couple of introductions. So the CEO of Nearest Distillery is Fawn Weaver, who is one of the great granddaughters. In addition to Victoria Butler, who is their master distiller, also a woman of color, and she is the great granddaughter of Nearest Green as well. So just to give you an idea of Nearest Green's distillery is just like my t-shirt says. Let me take this off so I can show y'all my shirt. Black History Month. It's the last week. And like I said, Uncle Nearest, all black everything. All black everywhere. It says everything, but I like the shirt that say everything, but it says everything. But all black everything this week. So just so you know, Uncle Nearest, all black everything. Oh, and also they're the only distillery where all of their leadership are females. I just want to let you all know that. So that's also a positive thing. So let's get into this Uncle Nearest tasting, shall we? So the first one we're gonna go with is the Master Blend, which is here. And just so you'll know, the Master Blend um, is $140 from the distillery. Is it worth it? I don't know, about 140 bucks. But but obviously if it's the Master Blend, obviously they blended something good up in there. I don't know, but I think that this bottle's gonna last a long time up on my bar. Just so you'll know, especially since I have the whole lineup minus that one rye. Well, actually, they actually have three ryes. One you can get in the liquor store, and the other two you can only get at the distillery. I have the one here that you can get in the liquor store, and then they have the other two. I don't need three ryes up on my shelf from Uncle Derek's. So, with all of the Uncle Nearest that I have, I just recently replenished. And these three were actually new. I don't think I need to be replenishing any of these anytime soon, since I have a wealth of whiskey on my bar. But let's get into this Master Blend Edition, okay, and see why it's worth $140. So first, let's get a look of it. And so as you can see, it's like a candied gold amber. It's not a strictly gold amber. I say it's a candied amber because to me it looks like it has a little more brown with a little red in it. But and the legs are actually very, very thin. It's actually very heavily bodied. So let's go ahead and get into the nose, shall we? Ooh, it's very good on the nose. Already tingling the hairs. Already tingling the hairs. Smells good. Smells good. What I'm smelling what you would normally smell. Most of the Uncle Nearest, the base smells the same. Plus or minus just a few notes. But the base is oak. I do smell the oak. I do smell a little cinnamon, vanilla, caramel, pecans, and actually just a little chocolate. More like a milk chocolate, not like a true dark chocolate, but a milk chocolate. So let's go and give this a taste and see what we get. Woo! That's a lot of heat, y'all. Ooh, I really want to drink some water, but I need to get the full effect. So after I drink this, y'all, I got to drink me some water because this is some real true. This a lot. This is a lot. Woo! All right. All right, Master Blend. Very warm. Okay. Very warm. But then again, that was my first, right? That was my first. So let me go ahead and take this. Whenever you do a tasting of anything, you want to do the first taste, take it in, but then do the second taste because the first taste is always going to be a woo, if it didn't hit your palate before. So I'm going to take my last taste. Woo! Good God Almighty. Mm. All right. So right off the bat, this Master Blend Edition is is very warm for those that want to know. And the actual proof on this, now one, it's 122 proof. So that's why it's a whoo. Okay, sound like Ric Flair, right? 122 proof, a lot of heat, but smooth. Does that make sense? Like I know some people say, well, how does it be hot with all that warm, but it also smooth? The texture is very smooth. The effect is Ric Flair. Woo! Ric Flair. Okay, it is the heat of this thing. It just tastes like it's more than 122 proof. It just tastes like it should be maybe in the 130, 150 proof. This is a strong proof, but it's still smooth at the same time, which means if you're going to drink this straight, you may want to put it over some ice, let it dilute a little bit, and that will take some of the warmth off of it. So it won't startle you so much. But in terms of the flavor and the taste, I taste the same, all the same things that I smelled, minus the oak. I don't taste that much oak, believe it or not, in this. I'm trying to see if I taste anything additional. So far, what did I say? Oak, vanilla, caramel. I'm starting to taste a little brown sugar. Pecans. I don't taste anything herbal, anything botanical. I don't taste any of that. But this is good. This is a true sipping bourbon whiskey. And just so you know, Uncle Nearest is a bourbon whiskey because it does go through a process of bourbon, but they're known as whiskey because it's not aged for the amount of time that bourbon is. So they call it a straight bourbon whiskey. I really like this Master Blend edition. I don't remember it from the distillery in terms of anything that stood out. But this is good. This is really, really, really good. Um, this is something I would definitely say should be on the bar. If you had to choose one Uncle Nearest to be on that bar, I would say this would be it. But then again, hold on, let's just hold on because I haven't tasted the single barrel on the other end. I remember the rye, but the single barrel. So let's hold off a minute. Let's just say this is a contingency. This is a contender. Okay. So just to think about that for a minute. But in the meantime, I'm going to drink some water in between. So I'm going to clear my palate and clear this heat. All right. All right. So our next one we're going to taste, I'm going to try the premium because the reason I'm going to try the premium is because I know the rye is going to have a certain taste to it, and rye isn't really meant to be consumed straight. It's really meant to be blended with something like a old fashioned, a Manhattan, or whatever other drink you prefer rye in. Some people do drink rye by itself, and that's all fine and dandy. There's no like specific rule. It's just that the majority would normally use a rye within the cocktail. So I'm going to try the single barrel and see what this tastes like because, like I said, it's been a minute since I've tasted it. All right. So first, let's see the color. So the color is about the same as the Master Blend edition. It's a golden brown, but it also has like a tinge of red in there. So I'm going to swirl it around a little bit. Take in the nose. So it's not as powerful on the nose as the Master Blend. And this proof is, oh, this is actually higher than the other one. I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out because the nose is not the same. This one is 122. The single barrel is 122.5. So it's not that much, but even though it's close to the same, this seemed to be more powerful with the heat. So let's The actual smells are the same. Except the only difference is the caramel is much, much stronger on this one. Whereas this one was like an even note of everything, I guess, hence the reason of master blend. And this is single barrel, which means it came from one of their chosen barrels for this, just from one barrel. And this is delicious. This smells delicious, more delicious than this. So I don't know. That one might win it because this one had a lot of heat, even though it's a lesser proof, but the other one has less heat. So let's taste it, shall we? Now, I do want to say this. Ooh, okay, hold up. It got some heat to it. The heat just hit you different. It hit different. Okay. So this heat hit you straight off the bat. You consume it, it's coming through your nose, it's coming through your ears, it's coming through everything. Okay. You didn't taste it on the palate at all. This one, you don't taste on the palate either. Literally, the palate is like, hey, you just drinking water. The nose, the chest, the everything is saying, hey, I'm here. You feel this 0.5 proof? That's more than the master blend? Yeah, now you know why. It's hitting. And it's very warm. Like literally, it consumes you as if it was in your lungs. It's there, but it has a smoother texture to it. It's smoother. In other words, it's more tolerable. It's and I can't explain it. It's like this one is like, oh, this is alcohol. The other one, okay. So you know when you eat a meal and you have hot because the temperature is hot, and then you have hot because it's flavorful hot. So the temperature hot, you can't take it because it's just overwhelming, right? But the flavor hot is like it's hot, but it tastes good. Like I can tolerate it. So that's how I get these two. This is temperature hot. This is if you can handle me, you can handle me. If you want to go the whole time, then that's fine. But the other one here is more like I'm flavorful, and it is. It's a lot more flavor for some reason. It does have heat, but the heat is different. The heat is much tolerable. It's much more flavorful. It makes you want to tolerate it, if that makes sense. So, for those of you who don't really like the high proof, you may taste both of them and say, "Oh hell no," but that's up to you. But for those who are used to tasting high proof spirits, you may really see the difference between the two and understand what I'm speaking of. So I'm going to taste. Oh, excuse me. That right there. Both of them have a long finish, over a minute. And they both taste the way that they smell. Um, Now this one here is starting to dissipate, go away. But I can tell you I'm still tasting everything I tasted from the time that I put it in my mouth. So I would say that this one is flavorful. So between this and this one, between these two, which one would I replenish and want to say, hey, I would like this to stay on my bar? Now it's the single barrel for me. This one's good. Ain't nothing wrong with this one, but you know, this one's more tolerable. I can see myself sipping on it on the evening or whatever. So, as you can see, the price of this one was $95 at the distillery. just to give you an idea of the cost of it. Is it worth it? Yes, it is worth it. Now, do I think that this, like after tasting this, do I think that this is worth almost $150? No, that's just me though. But I know some effort went into there. Victoria, I know it's the master's blend, and you're the master distiller, and I know you put your all into all of this, and this is special, and that's wonderful, and that's fine. But you know what? Until my pockets get like that, and right now I still have to choose. Well, right now they're all here, right? But they're all here because I bought these, you know, a whole year ago. It's not like I'm replenishing them every so often, but I have to choose. So when it's time to replenish, being that I have a bar full of liquor back there, um, I would think that I would just prefer this single barrel. I would pay the $95 to $100 for this, um, again and again and again. I really would. It is actually very, very good. So let me hydrate and get this water going down. All right. So let's go with the rye. Now, I'm not too much of a fan of rye unless it's in the old fashioned. Just want to let you know, unless it's in the old fashioned, I'm not a fan of rye. Okay, so I'm not going to pour that much, but I just want to taste it because I can't remember what it tastes like. But this one is a straight rye whiskey. It's 100 proof because you will be able to find all the Uncle Nearest drinks, all Uncle Nearest spirits, as long as they're 100 proof or under. Anything over 100 proof, you will have to go to Shelbyville, Tennessee. I'm in Georgia, so it's only like a 3 hour drive from here. I can tell you we loved the experience. The experience, not so much because everything was almost like it was top secret. It was like, you can't take any videos. You can take pictures, but you can't take videos. And I'm like, what's the difference? You can see, but I'm realizing that with video, you can hear. So I don't know if it was an issue with being able to, hearing someone say something. I don't know. But we didn't really go in anywhere except for where they would normally, put the bottles together, and no one was in there. We went into this one little place that was almost like a speakeasy, but it was a dry speakeasy. Yeah, I say it again, a dry speakeasy, which is a speakeasy that does not sell liquor. What speakeasy do you know that does not equate to liquor? There's no such thing as mocktails in a speakeasy. So I don't understand it. But anyway, that's what they had. And it was confusing to me because I would think that that would be the ideal place during a tour, that you would sell, even if you sold it, that you would sell a couple of cocktails within the speakeasy. But that wasn't the case. But anyway, the best part about the tour was the tasting. So anyway, we tasted the rye, and they also have a big bar, live entertainment lounge. They have outdoor entertainment space. It is awesome. Okay, it's called the Humble Baron, and it has the longest bar in the world in the Guinness Book of World Records. I think it's 158 feet. But it's a continuous bar, and its circumference is all of the space of the bar. It was awesome. I would drive there for the weekend just to enjoy the Humble Baron on a Friday night and a Saturday night, just to leave back on Sunday. Yes, the food is great. The drinks are great. The cocktails are great. The entertainment is great. The people are great. The service is great. And it is a more than enough space for everybody to be out there to enjoy themselves without being on top of each other. It was awesome. It was awesome. But let's get back into the ride. I'm sorry, I digress. Um, I might make it a weekend trip sometime, maybe in May. Maybe I'll go during my birthday or something, but in May. Let's see. Oh, May 18th is my birthday in case anyone wants to send me any birthday gifts. Anyway, let's get into this rye. So this is the Uncle Nearest. It's the straight rye whiskey. And it is the retail price, the average is $60. Depending on where you go, it might be a little less, it might be a little more, but that's just the average. So with this, the proof is 80. Wait, let me get it right. Let me get it right. I'm sorry. No, it's 100 proof. Sorry. I thought it was 80. That was one of the other ryes. Hold on. This smells good. Now, this to me smells like a regular rye whiskey, but it has all the bouquets of everything that I stated today. Everything. It's still the same. Nothing out of the ordinary. Vanilla, caramel, brown sugar, almond, macadamian. I'm sorry, not macadamian, pecans. But I know this gonna hit hard because it's a rye and it has a very distinct taste to it. So let's go to the tasting piece. Woo! Let me tell y'all, they got some heat to it. They got both heat. They got the heat like it's hot, and they got the heat like it's spicy. It got both of them. And it's coming through my nose, and it's coming down my chest, and it's on my tongue. But it's not the whole tongue, just the tip and the sides and underneath the tongue. Um, in reference to the flavor, like I said, I'm not much of a rye person. It is not something I would drink by itself. I need to mix it with something, but it is very, very, very flavorful. Um, when I say very flavorful, because it's so powering, the flavors that I smell, I did taste for a minute, a second, and then it went away. Meaning, when I squished it in my mouth and right before I swallowed it, I can taste everything that I smelled. But the everything that I smelled, but it's gone now. It's literally gone now. So this rye, very short finish. Very short finish. I would say 5 to 6 seconds. Very short finish. Um, right now I'm not tasting anything, but I'm still feeling that heat though. Very much so. Which means it needs to be blended with something else. Which means it needs to be in a cocktail or a mixed drink to really do anything. Um, I would say like I said, I would probably make it with an old fashioned and see what it tastes like. Even though I really like the Basil Hayden. I know, Reaper, you don't like to hear about Basil Hayden. But anyway, Basil Hayden dark rye. Not all the not I'm not talking about the lineup of Basil Hayden, but Basil Hayden dark rye just has a flavor that when you put it in a old fashioned, it just brings out the flavor of what an old fashioned should be. That and Knob Creek are the only two I think that really brings out an old fashioned. But I have yet to try the Uncle Nearest in an old fashioned, and I'm gonna do so to find out what the difference is in the taste. So I think I'm going to do sort of like an old fashioned taste off between Basil Hayden, Knob Creek, and Uncle Nearest to see which old fashioned tastes better based on the rye. But this is delicious. But as you can see, it's $60. It's reasonable. But before we go, I had to boast about Uncle Nearest. It is Black History Month, right? But hold on, let me get some water. So, just some fun facts about the Nearest Distillery and Uncle Nearest. So, Nearest Distillery, Uncle Nearest is the first known African American distiller. Okay, just so you know that. Okay, and why was he special? The process that they use for the whiskey for Uncle Nearest, as well as Jack Daniels, which is now called the Lincoln process, okay, is something that Nearest Green, Uncle Nearest, learned back in Africa when filtering water. It was the process of them filtering water. He used that same process to use it within the whiskey distillation process. And so, hence, that's what you get with Jack Daniels and you get with the Nearest distillery. So, just to let you know, there's techniques that was learned back in the home states before he was enslaved and then brought to America and become a slave and be able to show this is what you can do as a filtering process. So whenever you drink any of Uncle Nearest, do understand this whole process as well as a Jack Daniels. Don't get it twisted. You drink a Jack Daniels, you're drinking Uncle Nearest's process. Okay? You're drinking the process of Uncle Nearest, which he brought back from Africa. So you just take a note of that. Not only that, we have the first spirit named after an African American that's sold in 50 states. This is the first whiskey, the spirit that was named after an African American that's sold in 50 states. Keep that in mind. And it reached 100 million in sales in 2022. That was just a little less than 2 years ago. We just started 2024, so I'm just going to say a year ago. They $100 million in sales. And they've only been in action since 2017. They have not been, okay, in the whiskey world in terms of commercial since 2017. It's only been what? 2020. 7 years, 6 years, and they've already hit that. Not to mention that they've already won 550 awards since 2017. Now, I'm not going to read all of them, but I just want you to know that it was so many that I couldn't even I just couldn't list them all. They said 550 is 550 for real, okay? And I can tell you that their awards is big time. Look at it. Keep going and going and going and going. Okay? And even the site at the bottom said we're running out of space. I just want to let you know that. But just to give you an idea, I'm just going to name just a couple of them. So, like the most recent ones. So 2023, they won Best in Class Whiskeys of the World Awards. 2023 Platinum Medal Ascot Awards. 2023 Gold Medal American Whiskey Masters. 2023 Double Gold San Francisco World Spirits Competition. 2023 Best Whiskey Critics Challenge. 2023 Best Rye Whiskey International Whiskey Competition. 2023 Best Tennessee Whiskey International Whiskey Competition. 2023 Best of the Best Lie Invitational Spirits Competition. And then in 2022 2022 Whiskey of the Year, China Wine and Spirits Competition. 2022 Best in Class Awards, Whiskeys of the World Awards. 2022 Best in Show, TAG Global Spirit Awards. 2022 Tennessee Whiskey Distillery of the Year, New York International Spirits Competition. 2022 Master Medal, 2022 Master Medal, 2022 First Place, 2022 Best Whiskey, Best in Bourbon, Master Medal, Distillery of the Year, Gold Medal, Double Gold, Master Medal, 95 points, Gold Medal, Best in Class, Double Gold, Master Blender of the Year, Victoria Eatley Butler won one herself. Best in Class, Gold Medal, Century Award, Best American Whiskey, Chairman's Trophy, Best Tennessee Whiskey, Best Tennessee Whiskey, Best Tennessee Whiskey, Best in Class, Best in Show, Gold Outstanding Whiskeys of the World, Century Award, Best Bourbon, First Place, Master, Platinum Medal, Platinum, Spirit of the Year, Victoria Edie Butler, Master Blender of the Year, Whiskey of the Year, Master Blender, and that's just from 2021 to 2023. There's a list going on and on and on and on and on back to 2017. So without going into all of that, I just want to say cheers to Uncle Nearest. Cheers to Fawn Weaver. I see you doing your thing, boo. I see you out there over in France opening up that cognac, your cognac, what do we want to call it? Your cognac kingdom over there. I get it. I see you. Do your thing. But just so you know, Uncle Nearest is nothing to play with. But if you like this, please hit that like button and subscribe for future episodes. Please know I will be starting off on my wine series for the next couple of weeks. Well, not just a couple of weeks, but we'll be going through all the wine grapes, different types of wines over the next, I would say the next March, April, May, over to maybe the next 2-3 months. So please chime in Wednesdays, 6:00. Sometimes it's live, sometimes it's not. Like this one is not. But usually I will go live depending on what the segment is. But stay tuned for my wine series. All of them are posted. Please click that subscription so you can get the notification of my videos and make sure that you're getting notified to chime in. Please know that my Wednesdays are premieres, so I will be in the chat room to answer any questions or reactions that you may have to my videos. Well, thank you, everybody, and cheers to the real ones.
Let's have a toast for the real ones.